Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mark back in my living room today. I'm Mark's Aquatics. We're going to be having a look at my Fluval Evo in just a second. But before we do, I'd like to thank Nano Aqua for sending me 2 wonderful t-shirts. How about that? Fantastic stuff. Really nice fit, good quality t-shirts. And with spring on the way, going to come in very handy. Thank you very much again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at my little Fluval Evo, see how it's been getting on, and how them little Aptasias eating Nudibranchs have been getting on. And look at that as well. Even give me a nice little sticker to put on my aquarium. Look at that. That looks fancy. Anyway, this thing's been getting on and coming on in leaps and bounds. Now, we'll go in closer in a minute, but apart from a couple of, well, there's a few big Aptasia left. And the postman's at the door. Postman always comes at the right time. Look at that, I got a new heater for one of my tanks. Fantastic stuff. Put that aside. Yes, those little Aptasia eating Nudibranchs that I put in there, I really have been going to work. Now, we had quite a few in the substrate down on the bottom there. Lots and lots of little tiny ones. Some all over the rocks in different places. But they're slowly starting to disappear. Now, this is what will happen. You'll hardly ever see the Nudibranchs because they're nighttime, like I say, nocturnal. But they'll creep around in the night time and they'll start munching away on all these little tiny baby ones that they keep releasing into the water column and start sticking everywhere. There was even some right up in the glass at the back here which have mysteriously disappeared, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, they managed to get through the weir into this section, okay, where I keep my heater and some other media in here as well, and I found them both curled up, probably mating in the corner there. So I left them there overnight and they've disappeared back. I've probably gone back into the tank. They can't go any further than that because of the media that I've got in the base here and the sponges that are in the next section. So that's quite handy. Everything else is doing really well. Obviously, the Aptasia are starting to now disappear. So where they were stinging other corals in the past, now the corals are expanding. Things are starting to grow. And these guys aren't really that hard to get rid of. I know a lot of people say, oh, they get out of control. But with these little Nudibranchs, they really do get to work over a given time, and you're not putting any chemicals in your tank or anything like that, or shooting them with lasers or whatever else people get up to, and all these juices and things, which do work, but nature and the way they do it is a lot better than a chemical route, I think. Now then, we'll come off the tripod, I think, and we'll get in a little bit closer, and I'll show you some of the ones that are still there, but they won't be there for much longer, I don't think, and we'll have a closer little look about. Right, I don't know whether you remember last time, but this lovely little sandflower anemone went down the back over the other side there and disappeared. But he's crept all the way around under the stones and the gravel, and he's decided to pop out on this end here, which is absolutely great because he's right in the front so we can see him. A tiny little bit of algae on this little stone here. Okay, but my turbo snail's heading that way, so I think he's going to start grazing that off in no time at all. Now, there's a big Aptasia right there. See, there's one there and there's one there. Now, these guys are under the rocks. They're all over the place. I've got a couple of pictures I'll put up online of an adult in a minute, in case you missed them on one of the other videos, to show you what they look like. And also, we've got a few more now coming out in the coral room, where we'll go in a while, and I'll show you a couple of fancy things that's going on there. We've got some clownfish breedings. My Clarkies are breeding like crazy. We've got a massive colony of eggs there, and I'll show you those nice and close up as well. And some Nudibranchs that have laid eggs. I'll show you a picture of that, or a little bit of footage I got of a Nudibranch spiral of eggs, which is fantastic. So you can see all that sort of stuff as well. So that's great. I'm glad he's come to the front. We've got some lovely little sponges starting to grow at the back there. We've got a little clam there at the back. Some little star polyps starting to pop up on the rocks as well. So nature is slowly taking its course. This tank was absolutely full up with Aptasia, with the rocks that I put in there, but they're really starting to get to work on it and starting to clear them up. Right, there's a different angle for you guys. We've got a nice little piece of toxic green cabbage coral there, just starting to grow. We've got some more little Aptasia here, here and here on this rock, which is great because I'm loving this, because it's more food for them. What I'm trying to do is to get as many as I can of these young ones, and every time I go to the shop and I see a colony, I'm going to be buying these Aptasias on rocks, infested rocks that people have brought back to the shops, just to try and get credit on there and get some money back on their rock, even though it's covered in Aptasia. I'll be buying them cheap and I'll be clearing them out with my Aptasia eating nudibranchs and then growing them on and getting more and more. And then what I'm going to start doing is selling them on eBay on my page there where I sell my coral, and I'll get some out to you guys so you can add 2 or 3 of these into your system, and then within time they're going to clear everything out. It does take time though. As you see, it's been a few weeks since the last video, well, 3 weeks, maybe a month, I'm not sure, since the last video, but it really is starting to work. Nice little zoanthids down there, nice little colony of different ones there, some space jams there. What else have we got? Obviously we've got that mint GSP there. You can just see a little bit of the real nice green one. I'll just swing you around a little bit. Look at that, that's absolutely beautiful, that is. I should do a relaxing video on just letting this pulse and put some fancy music to it. I think it'd be fantastic. What do you reckon? Leave a comment in below if you think I should do that. See if it'll work. Maybe it'll get me to 100,000 views. Or even subscribers would be better. Right, let's have a look up at the pulsing xenia now, which has set off a lot of little offshoots all over the place, and they're starting to stick everywhere now because I've pushed the rock to the back of the tank. So we'll go up and we'll have a look at those guys. Just move you there and twist the camera up. Elevate. Nasty scratch on the tank. Oh, I hate that scratch. But look at that. We got that bubble tip anemone in there. Now that's split into 2. That's actually crept from the back, sorry, my English. And it's come forward and it's actually split into 2. That's one there and another one there. They've split apart. And they're in amongst that pulsing xenia there, which is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favourite corals. They do spread well, but if you can keep them isolated on a rock like this, they're absolutely spectacular in a nano tank with that beautiful pulsing movement. And it really does make the tank come to life. But if you look down here, you can see a piece which has dropped off just there. And this is how it spreads. It'll either, a piece will move over. Let me have a look there. There you go. That piece there is just laying down now onto this rock here. And what it'll do, it will stick to it and then it will shrink at the back. At the back there, it'll get thinner and thinner, and then it will snap off, and then that'll be a new colony started. Okay, you can see where they've done this down this side where they've spread. Pardon my disgusting glass, I can't really get down there because it's too close to the wall to clean it. But as you can see, they've suckered onto the side of the glass there. Now they're going to spread up the glass, they're going to cover that side, but I think I'll just let them go ahead and do it. But there's all kinds going on. Absolutely lovely. Now I'll give you a nice shot of the side where that GSP, that nice neon green one, is carpeted the whole side. Look at that. That's absolutely stunning, that is. Let me try and get back a bit further. There you go, look at that. And it's even coming down now. It's even coming down the tubes for the outlets. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so much movement in such a little tank. I love these Fluval Evos. They're a super tank for a beginner. Plug in and play. All the stuff, everything's in the back. All the media goes in the back. The sponges, the heater, the pumps. Everything's in the back, so it gives you a lovely space to work with. And you can create something like this very, very cheaply, as being all soft corals. You only want a small piece of this, small piece of this. I've got a couple of nano setups on my eBay account as well, as if you want to go and look at that. I'll put a link. There's actually a link in the if you look up on my face on my actual main page, you'll find a link that goes straight to my eBay, and you can go and buy these little starter colonies, which I take from this tank, and obviously from my other stuff which I've got in the shop side. So you can start off your own little tanks, cheap to buy, cheap to run, and you can end up with something absolutely beautiful like this. And there you go, there's a nice little view of the tank, face on. I think it's coming on great. Those little Aptasia eating nudibranchs are doing their job. So I think now we should go into my coral room and I'll show you what's going on in there. Right, okay guys, we're in the coral room. Sorry if it sounds a little bit echo in here. But we have proud mum and dad. Mum over there, dad over there. I've got lots of algae and things growing on the floor for microfauna and all that kind of stuff for these babies when they hatch. And if you look in there they are. Look at that lot. Just starting to get little eyes. So they're going to be out in about 4 or 5 days time, I would have thought. Won't be long. Don't know how close I can get. The water's a little bit murky because they've stirred it up a little bit. Panicking because I've got the camera pointing right at the babies and they're freaking out a little bit. There's a few hundred there. We'll try and get some. No, it's not going to focus at that range. But look at that. I've got to get that Aptasia out of there because that's going to be one of the first things that is going to eat the babies. Now there's only one in here, but they're in this system because if we look down here, I've got another series of tanks here as well. There's 4 tanks on this system. Now this one was the first one that I put the Aptasia eating nudibranchs in. Now this is clear. You might find a couple of little ones in there, but there's still an adult in there laying eggs. So this tank used to look like this tank. Now look at the Aptasia in there. Look, they are absolutely all over the place. They're all over this power head, which I think is fantastic because it's more food for the babies to eat. Now I'm not sure where the adults are. I'll put my hand in slowly and I'll just turn a rock over so I'll make sure that there's one there for you to see, and then we'll go from there. Right, okay guys, I've just had a little look around. A little bit of detritus from the base has just gone up in the air, but not to worry. Now the good thing is I've just discovered a parent laying eggs under here, so I'll carefully lift that up and I'll give you a look. There you go. Now you see that little spiral of eggs there, and that is the nudibranch there, which has been going round and round and round, laying that little. Let me come this way a bit, it's out the current a bit. I'll try and get you a close up. But now the lights come out, she's finished laying, but there's hundreds and hundreds of eggs there. Sorry for the shaking. But there she is. And that's all the eggs. Look how many eggs there is there. So when that lot hatches, you're doomed. Aha. Anyway, so she's done some fantastic work. And she's just jumped off. Not to worry, I'll put those little eggs secretly hidden out the way there. Sorry, back there in a little pile. Day before yesterday, I got my other tank here. There was another parent on there with a load of eggs as well. And this is like the filter tank. This has got tons of calopa in it, which helps filter the tank out. So these 4 little tanks are my playing around tanks, which I love to do my experiments in and things for you guys. And the other one down there, which is nice clear of Aptasia now. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. Lighting isn't great on this tank, but it doesn't need to be. So anyway, we'll go and look in the other tank now, and I'll just say a few little things that I've got in stock. There you go guys, got some beautiful zoanthid colonies in my last shipment. Some nice Duncan corals, multiple heads on those. Look at those, absolutely huge big colony of Spider-Mans there. Now these are the little frag packs that I'm doing. These are different ones, eagle eyes, some of that nice GSP, some scrambled eggs, a nice little recordia and a bit of green plating Montipora. And these other Spider-Mans as well, which look like they're a little bit different to those, but we can get in and have a different look. But those are little colonies that I'm sending to people. Got some more lovely big colonies of zoas here. These guys aren't cheap, they're around 60 quid each, but they're well worth it. And you don't see big colonies that cheap that often when you're seeing people selling Spider-Man frags of GSP and different things for stupid money on YouTube and eBay. And these are really good cheap ones. These are nice colonies. Look at that, nice big colonies, fist sized, some bigger. Go down here, we've got some more little colonies here. Beautiful big colony there. This is more of a hard coral tank here. We've got the big acroporas in here. Huge big plate corals at the back. Big plate Monty, which I take frags off. This is some of my latest experiments, guys. What do you reckon of him? Mr. Mohican there. GSP Mohican. I absolutely love it. I've got a few more here as well, which have got acroporas growing on their heads. I'll just pick one up and I'll show you a bit closer. But this one's been going for some time now, but he's really starting to go. Look at that, really spreading over the top of that skull. I'll just get him out of the water for you so you can have a quick look. Look at that. Absolutely love it. That'll look fantastic in somebody's reef. These are collection only though. I daren't post these because they'd snap off. But the main lights have come back on now. So I'll put him back there. Beautiful blue growing tips on that. And there we go. Happy days. Right, I'm going to dry my hands up and then I'll do a little bit more filming. Anyway guys, hope you liked this little video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you're not subscribed. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I'd love to have you aboard. And don't forget to hit that bell icon for up and coming videos. So from me, an old smiler here, take care of yourselves. Love you loads. Take care and I'll see you on the next episode of Mark's Aquatics. Bye for now.